In about a month's time, the United States will have its Senate midterm elections, kind of the mid-year report card for the Obama administration. And wouldn't you know it, the mud's been flying all year long, so I bring you the Senate edition of BS 2010. What makes this farce especially interesting is that for the first time, the so-called Tea Party is actively involved, making this the moment that will either make or break this glorified hate group once and for all. Now, even though I've previously supported Barack Obama, I'd like to make something clear off the bat. I'm pretty disappointed in him myself now. I think he mostly has meant well, but the fact is he's doubled back on a lot of things that got him elected in the first place, like clawing back the Patriot Act and closing Guantanamo, both of those are still around, and repeatedly flip-flopping about offshore oil drilling despite the total catastrophe in the Gulf of Mexico. That being said, I like that he's put some serious strings on the money he lent, not gave, to the Detroit automakers, which is a lot more than Bush did when he just bailed out the banks that caused the recession in the first place. I also like that Obama made a fairly serious effort to regulate Wall Street, and to those who say that attacks free market capitalism, I say, tough shit, you had your chance and it screwed us all over. Incidentally, the Tea Party has totally ignored the inept companies going bankrupt and begging for bailouts, despite that money supposedly being the root of their outrage. And as for the healthcare reform, that might very well have worked wonders if the private insurance industry and Republican Party didn't get so up in arms over it that they stripped it of all good intentions, which is pretty odd for people who respectively claim that they want to save lives and that they are truly moral and devout people. The point is, just because Obama doesn't deserve a free pass doesn't mean that the right wing in America hasn't gone way out of line. But the problem is that Americans, or at least the ones calling themselves true conservatives, are so paranoid about a Democrat running things during the worst financial crisis of a century that apparently a lot of them would sooner burn the country to the ground than let a penny of public money help their friends and neighbors, especially when the guy holding the purse strings is a black guy with a foreign-sounding name. Yes, I'm playing the race card. If any teabaggers out there want me to stop that, you might want to rein in the people in your group telling Obama to go back to Kenya, especially since he's not from there anyway. And I'd like you guys to prove to me that you'd really be this pissed off at Obama if he were a white guy with a more Americanized name. You might also want to do something about those followers of yours who apparently think it's funny to threaten to kill liberals, Mexicans, gays, and Muslims, or simply tell them to get lost lest they get the crap beaten out of them. Or do something about the former judges in your party who actually want to bring back slavery. Yes, at least one of them exists. Oh, and you should run candidates who don't lie to the public about their past spiritual beliefs, given how many of you guys are blindly convinced that Obama is secretly a Muslim, and that Glenn Beck recently claimed that Michelle Obama practices voodoo for no apparent reason. I realize that politics and integrity have very little to do with each other, but when you go around accusing non-right-wingers of being traitors and liars, it kind of hurts their credibility a little. And another thing, drop this complete crap about being against both the Democrats and the Republicans, because you're not fooling anyone there either. If you guys are really an independent alternative, then you'd not only attack the GOP a lot more often than you are, but you wouldn't have your members running for the Republicans in the election. Or for that matter, let Republican stalwarts like Sarah Palin and Glenn Beck position themselves as your unofficial leaders. I know that you guys don't value intelligence a lot. Some of you honestly told me that that's what makes Obama just like Hitler, but you're not going to convince undecided Americans to vote for you guys by insulting their intelligence. Just come right out and say it. You're the new Republicans. Incidentally, another reason you might want to distance yourself from the GOP a lot more than you are is because of their campaign promise to scrap the minimum wage, or have you forgotten that you claim to be working-class heroes? And like I said, you might as well just admit that you guys hate anyone who isn't a white, straight, conservative American. Never mind that some of your candidates are clearly homophobic and anti-Muslim. I've seen how you guys act at protests and talk online. You're so narrow-minded and intolerant that I seriously wouldn't be surprised if you scream Birth of a Nation every other weekend. When you make it that obvious, you might as well stop pretending to be something you're not, okay? Oh, and speaking of being taken seriously, where do you get some of your candidates? One of your poster people these days is a Republican candidate named Christine O'Donnell, the aforementioned ex-witch I just referred to. Not only has she been caught lying on several occasions, like claiming to have won a Delaware election where she actually got her ass handed to her on a platter, but this woman honestly thinks that the Earth is only a few thousand years old, that evolution is a total myth, that scientists are crossbreeding humans and mice, no, I'm not making that up, and of course the claim that gets all the press, that masturbation and adultery are the same thing. Are you guys kidding me? Are you even trying? And for those of you who want to vote for her, are you fucking high? Finally, if you Tea Party guys really want to be seen respectably as a giant protest to the two major parties, here's a wacky idea. How about formally becoming a political party and running on your own? Or at least have your people run as independent candidates. Not only would it be putting your money where your mouth is, but if you're really as big and powerful as you say you are, you shouldn't have that much trouble getting elected and having a crack at running the country, should you? So what are you scared of? That's it for me.